listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamiting the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Ari.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of February the 24th to March the 1st, 2024. My confusion about MASH last week was genuine, but it was confusion I should have had 2 weeks earlier. So we're not doing MASH this week, so everything's properly back within the schedule of when it came out.
It's fine. We were slightly ahead of time on MASH. Time
Yes.
is a fuck anyway, so yeah, it's great.
Because it had a week off in February the 10th, I think, which I guess was probably for sports, because I didn't hear any scheduling things. And it's a daytime thing.
Oh, fuck. What did I have on? If there was something on in Japan, what was I doing? Some kind of racing thing. Maybe it was that.
Yes. So we start with High Card, episode 20, LALA VALDENKLEIN. LALA VALDENKLEIN.
I did a double take on the title because I thought it looked like a keyboard smash initially. I was just like, wait, what? But when they say it, it sounds like a sensible name, so that's fine.
Yeah, so you know all those stories like where it's
entirely
attack and dethrone God. Well, in this, God shows up, requests to be dethroned, and Mankind's representative says, "No, you don't get off that easy, mate."
Hello, it's me, the wizard. I'm here to tell you the true history.
It is like the smart thing to do, but get over his card as well. Whereas you're thinking, yeah, it is a little bit like, and just the fact that fucking Finn's card gives him like a gun that always shoots straight. It's just like only thing that can stop a bad guy with a card is a good guy with a card kind of argument.
But on that thing, it was just like, well, maybe it does make sense to get rid of the fucking cards. They do. They allow for a massive power disparity, because if you get super speed and I get sticks hands together, it's just like, well, that fucking sucks. For me, I don't think I'm gonna have the opportunity. I'm not smart enough to use the hand sticking together one. But like the other thing is, as we learn in this, the royal family is literally using this to legitimize their fucking power over the fucking rest of the foreland. So
that should really be aggrieved by
power disparity, but like institutional power disparity based on magic cards. So if we get rid of the magic cards, that'll get rid of the institutional power disparity, right? Probably not, but it's a good place to start.
Well, that's the way that Ban Klondike will spin it anyway.
Yeah.
Nah, I just wanted the money, and then comes the sugar, and then comes the women.
Yes, and then will come the pretend Vikings. At least that's what happened in the past. So yes, the foreland used to be 4 separate countries, are always at war, but then this meant they were easily attacked by, what do they call them? Outsiders, outlanders, or something?
Oh, they do have a specific
foreigners.
Yeah,
they're clearly Vikings.
Ask Lad and his merry band.
Yes. So, and this child was like, "Oh my goodness! If only there was peace, we could prevent this problem." And so,
the wizard says, "Sorry, what? That sounds great. Here, I'm going to give you the ability to do that." Kid says to the knights of the 4 different lands, "Stop fighting," and they're like, "Fuck you!" And one of them is particularly "fuck you," and that's the Black Knight, who instantly goes to try and murder this child, but then he activates his powers, I guess, and that one goes like, "Oh no, I'll serve you then, little kid," and all the other knights are like, "Yeah, okay, you give us superpowers. That sounds pretty good."
Yeah, it's Independence Day. We gotta gather all these disparate beliefs together and go take out the bigger enemy.
So they do. Everything works out great, except for the Black Knight, who's kind of like,
"Hey,
can I be king? Actually, I've changed my mind.
I got this cool card right here. Why can't I be? Like, and I have all the cards for myself."
Yeah.
But then everyone's going on with it. But then a young upstart with a slingshot in the crowd just says, "Hey, I don't agree with this whatsoever. You're just some guy who would tell us what we should be doing or not doing."
And obviously, slingshot doesn't really do good against a knight with a sword as big as a guy, so he gets instantly fucking taken out. But all the other knights are like, "Hey, yeah, this would make us the bad guys if we went along with this guy. This guy's a prick." I do appreciate that you see kind of like, you don't see a lot of what the knights are, but the guy who has him to the sword has the evil sword that makes you horny for murder.
It makes you want to eat cards.
No, what I mean is there's a knight with the evil katana sword.
Yes, Love Peace.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
that's what
right,
he's
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Yes, Love Peace doing the executioning.
So he gets so the guy who has a magical slingshot and who looks suspiciously like the character who is viewing all of this. The wizard's making him view all this history, and he's not gonna like, hey, is that me as a knight? And because I get taken out instantly, and that feels bad. But no, he doesn't question any of this shit.
Yeah, well, it drops the fucking two of spades there, so they know how it is. But that's the kind of
Yeah.
set up that people don't like choose the cards. The cards they come to them. They find the owner who's best suited for them in the modern era. So that's like young upstart. Maybe you're the one who can change the course of this awful fate.
And hopefully not get killed doing it is the other implication, because it's kind of like this card because other people also have guns. Which is great,
when the king's about to die, though, Lala shows up and goes, "Hi, Lala, you're about to die. Before you go, can you do me one favor and kill me first? Here's my heart. I'll just rip it out of my body.
I'm a wizard. I can do this shit.
Crystal ball. Because then
if you kill the crystal ball, that'll get rid of the cards. Well, I mean, like, we already got a pretty sweet kingdom, right? Everything's it's going great. You had a great fucking rule before you die in bed. You just stab my crystal ball hard. That'd be great if you could just do me a solid. The king's like,
they got to keep these.
Can I have the Joker card? Can I have the card how to play high card, the ruler of all card, the one ring type situation.
Blue eyes, white dragon.
Yeah, and you can see the wizard's like, oh man, I thought you were cool. I thought me fixing this whole thing would be cool, but yeah, okay, here's the Joker. The royal family gets the Joker card. But if that card gets taken out, all the other cards go. So, Yeah.
So basically he's like, oh yeah, I guess they don't verbalize it, but I assume the king's thinking is this country was torn apart by invaders and each other before, and if we take away the cards, that's probably going to happen again.
It's so that they don't say that out loud, but they also don't say power's pretty good though. Like it's a little combination. It could be either, it could be both.
This is how monarchies come about and trust and live. It's like, well, under like this king, we've had decades of peace. So whoever like he appoints for the position next to like an heir or whatever like that, they're obviously going to be good for it too, and that's how civilization begins.
Yes,
Which like you know you have like a massive like deterrent here in the form of magical cards you can use for all kinds of purposes.
Yes. And it's the king making the decision on his own deathbed, so he's fearing about what's the country going to be like after I'm gone as well. Therefore,
he's not craving more power by getting the Joker. He's installing a plan basically to continue this. Yeah,
the faithful coachman. He's the one who's going to keep control of the cards. The Pinnacle family. So yes, this is all has happened over many centuries ago.
The San Galgano, his grudge was so deep that he's carried and manifested in and of itself. And in an incident like before, the cards were actually kind of broken out and scattered. And the ones we saw like at the start of the very, very start of the series were getting taken away and they got scattered as well. That wasn't all the entire deck now. That explains why like Wendy has like her card passed up through from her father and things like that. People have had these. It's not like how do they have stands and they weren't shot by the arrows? It's like thinking this happens sometimes. They're trying to plug the hole. Shut up.
They're magic. All right, a wizard literally did it, so we don't fucking have to explain it that much.
I think as an exposition dump, this is in one of my favorite exposition dumps I've seen in an anime.
As
they
go, it's better. It's better than some I've seen. At least with some kind of dynamism to it, where like we're just
it's weird that it works so well because when you have the main character there with the wizard, and sometimes the wizard is also in the scene that they're showing, and they're just kind of like watching shit happen. That sounds like it'd be boring, but yeah, it manages to do it quite compellingly.
So Finn, will you change your ways?
So Finn, I told you a secret past, so you can fix this. And by the way, I've paused time so that your friend's about to be stabbed by the Black Knight. So if you shoot my heart right now, it would fix all the problems because that would destroy me, destroying the cards, etc., etc. So do me a solid, kill me, Finn. Finn's like, you think you fucking get off that easy, motherfucker? No fucking way.
Nobody Christmas carols me.
And it's the idea that
the responsibility for this, mister.
he does explain it pretty well from his perspective. It's just like, you see the cards as a curse. I've had this card as my constant companion, this fucking thing that like kept me through the worst times, and it brought me into high card where I made all my friends, and like I have a life for myself now. This has exponentially improved me and the world around it, because some people with cards are good, actually, like that superhero from before that we arrested for no goddamn reason. So it's not just bad people with cards, it's good guys with cards, like you said now.
Yeah, it's essentially it's a superhero story.
Yes.
Fair enough. Okay, you made your point. Switch time back on. He manages to save Chris. They flee, but then the guy with the sound distorting.
Vincenzo.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then he makes the mistake of referring to Tilt as a monster, which then Tilt gets control of his body again and cuts his arm off.
And how he screams. Again, it's good, like, as mentioned before, he puts this facade of being, I got these claws, I'm super scared, but as soon as like he gets some actual action, he just buckles like a belt.
He just makes illusions. He's not actually weird and creepy. It's just his vibe that he gives off. Getting his arm cut off sucks.
And so we've got Finn looking at Tilt as if to say, okay, is this guy who I've hated because he killed my family, is he not all bad? Is there something going on with him? And then Owen shows up with a gun.
You killed Master Theodore.
Which I don't think
what you need. Someone to burst in, Robert, in the middle of this turf situation, and then there's other party coming in, and it's like, I don't care what any of you are doing here.
I got my own shit going on, and it's telling me to kill you specifically because that will work out for me. Yeah.
And then after the credits run, Sugar's running off with the cars.
That freaking sugar piece, what the fuck? It's just like, oh, brilliant, a handful of cards. And they're like, no, put them down, they're dangerous. He's like, no, mine. Runs off, and it's like, you formed a task force because you know how fucking bad these cards are, and you're running off with a handful of them. Fucking idiot. All right, fair enough.
Only problem she had with the cards was that she wasn't using them herself.
I've got a cool name. I should have had a card. Dear.
Yeah. I enjoy this episode a lot. See how it all plays out for the rest of the series.
Yeah, it's doing a better job of kind of like keeping its kind of priorities together now on this stretch, because I suppose we're getting what we have 4 or 5 now left.
I guess, yeah.
And we need a little bit more. We've got some backstory with like Ben and Theodore, but like, what's his big play going to be to bring down a monarchy or whatever?
Then we got Sengoku Youko, episode 8, Mystic Swordsman.
And this is a pissed off young man right here. Shinsuke is just like
his full edgy mode, where he's not only is he like got the darkened eyes and the furrowed brow constantly, but he's like muttering to his swords like, "Shut up! I'll feed you later. The blood of the guilty." And it's
like he is talking. They're all just like, there is a spirit in there, but if you're just like watching him walking around, if you're a passerby, it's super scary.
It's super scary, but also very like you see the kind of teenager was like, I have mystical powers. It feels adolescent while also being creepy at the same time. It's a good balance, yeah.
A little touch of it now. Naturally, the Tama and Jinka are a bit worried about him. He looks like ready to kind of blow up on something loud on this opportunity he gets. That's the thing I watched the furthest back, so I'm having trouble remembering it there.
So basically, like he's like, fucking, you don't get to tell me what to do, and your man's Jink is kind of like, back off from her now. Like I'm putting up with you, but don't make me start shit with you. And because he's being a dick to everyone. He's like, oh, you fucking you say you're great, but you like kill your own spirit kind that you want to turn into, but also you fucking save humans. You're like, you're a piece of shit. You don't know, you're contradicting yourself. And it's just like, he's been real shitty to everyone, but they're traveling along, and spirit kind of goes like, whoa, 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 whoa. It's my village up the road, right? You can stay in a shack on the outskirts of it because that guy fucking creeps me out. I don't want his vibe in my fucking town. I'm the protector of the town. And they're like, okay, yeah, cool. Thanks for letting us stay in the shack. And I feel like the brother and sister who show up at the shack are specifically like, oh, strangers, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. My sister's about to be sacrificed to this monster because we sacrifice a guy every was it every couple of months or something like that?
Every 4 years, and
4 years, 4
and the
years.
Tama's going, wow, that's not a bad deal actually.
He keeps off all the bandits and the war, and they just have to sacrifice one person every 4 years, and it's like, it's shit, but it is a good deal. And obviously our edgelord boy is kind of like, no, I'm gonna go kill that fucking guy. Fuck it.
Yeah. Hey, just fucking about punches him up, wasn't he? Or was that?
He shows up and it's like, oh, there's that fucking monster in the woods. I'm gonna kill that. There'll be no guardian in the village. There'll be no sacrifice to the guardian in the village. But the guardians are like, I'm bleeding out because our fucking our ninja boy shows up and he's
Russian. Yeah, that's I remember him like coming up there, and we're both edgy dudes. Let's have an edgy dude face off here. But
I'm gonna kill you with the sword I killed your girlfriend with, and they're just being like little shits to each other, basically.
Yeah. The sword then such a and said, okay, buddy, you just gonna draw me, let me possess your body, and we're gonna get this thing sorted out, all right? You can't handle this. And he's like,
I assume this is
shut up.
actually
He's kind
the spirit of
in his like subconscious, just kind of slaps him across the face and saying, no, bad sword. I'm the swordsman, you're the sword. You're gonna do what I fucking say, all right? It's just maybe
he's knocked out, so you're kind of like, is this actually the sword talking, or is this his psychosis taking over? But regardless, he has basically went like, you're the sword, and I'm a guy who swings the sword. Swords don't swing themselves. I'll fucking tell you who to cut, all right, you son of a bitch. And the sword's like, oh fuck. I was like, if you don't like that, I'll throw you in a fucking bog. How do you like that, fucker? And the sword's like, oh fuck, no, not a bog, please. Just good shit.
Toss a sword, you fun cuts the fucker's arm off.
His regular arm, not his big lumpy arm.
His normal arm, yeah. The mask comes off. We see that he's horribly burned underneath, and he's got lots of other tricks in there as well. Besides the bag of holding full of swords, he's got, I guess, spirit laser beam in his mouth. He's full of all the little kind of tricks and gadgets and ninja shit.
So basically, he has him dead to rights, and then the boss with the long beard, whose name I always forget, kind of pops out as a little paper. What are they called? Those shikigamis? No.
Shikigami, yeah.
Yeah, he pops out as one. I was like, could you leave him alone? Because we spent a lot of money fucking trying to fix up this guy to be like a laser ninja guy, and he's like, no, I'm gonna fucking kill him. But then he hears the version of the girl he liked and also the monster that was possessing her, kind of going
Shakugan, yeah. Just
the combination of them basically kind of going is like, you're not that kind of guy. You're not a guy to kill a guy that he's down, and you're not a murderer, basically. The heat of battle is one thing, but like, this is, no, you're cool. You wouldn't do that. And he's like, no, I'm fucking doing this for me. I'm going to be selfish for me, even though you wouldn't want me to do it, and you wouldn't want you think I am to do it. And he's like, I can't fucking do it, though. So they gave their actual names. Fucking the ninja guy's name. His name is Barry, isn't it?
His name is, I put it down here. Shinsuke is actually Takekichi. Hyodo Shinsuke is like, it's, I guess, a tough sounding name, this way put it. Barry Zalmore, which I got the impression he was like some manner of honor, like his manner of speech, and he's using like Western style swords whenever he's picking them out of the bag.
And as we all know, all Westerners have like a laser gun built into their mouth, so watch out for that.
Yeah. He's just like, I'm a Westerner. I'm the first weeaboo. I came here.
Yeah.
Wait for any of the rest of them.
I'm the original. So he basically does like ninja smoke bomb. We'll fight again another day after doing introductions. And also we've established that we hate each other. All right, bye.
This little like, this fucking little fucking try hard at a rivalry, having fun, saying, I'm extreme. No, I'm Swedish. I got a bag full of swords. My sword's got a ghost in it.
It was actually like I forgot to say, the spirit used its last breath to knock the ninja guy over, knock Barry over, but then bled out and died. And so your man's kind of like, I didn't even get to kill the spirit. I didn't get to kill Barry. I didn't get my vengeance. I didn't get nothing today. So the old man was like, oh, you killed our guardian. What are we going to do now? It's like, shut up. The weak don't have a right to fucking what was the thing? Gets
The
thrown at
weak
him.
don't have a right to live. You know, that's like literally the thing he started out like railing against.
Yeah, and he's like, "What have I become?" You know, it's just. But then the brother and sister are kind of like, "Hey, you know, give it the nod. Thanks for."
Well,
making
that girl didn't get sacrificed, so that's something, right?
It's just like, are we doing good in the world or bad in the world? Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, like we do also get from the cliff thing is like, whoa, Shakagun's not necessarily dead. She might wake in 100 or 1,000 years, or not at all. That it's just like, okay, so functionally dead for the story, basically. But yeah.
But just letting you know that they could come back later in the series.
We could do it. We could do it if we wanted to, but you know.
They continue on their way and reporting this valley, and then someone comes up, comes out of it, and like, you know, hey, I'm a friend of yours. Is one saying, yeah, are you sure? She wants me off hanging around with one saying, you don't want to tangle with her. You might want to on her side because she's commanding these two massive Tengu who are like, you know, up, just like crouched up with like that, like 50 feet tall either side of this valley. He's like, oh, okay.
I do appreciate that it's both kinds of Tengu. One's a crow man, one's a big red man with a big nose. It's
Without
like
noise,
I got both kinds of giant Tengu dudes working for me, and it's like, all right, we'll come with you. You seem like you're being genuine, even though you're being hugely suspicious. So they go with her. They go into like a mystic cave, and she's like, "I'm glad you followed me. You trusted me to follow me this far." It's like, "Are you gonna betray him now? Are you gonna betray him now?" It's like, "No, I'm not gonna betray you now. Just hear me out. I got a proposal for you. Don't worry, my Tengu will keep that dragon guy off your tail." And the dragon guy shows up. It's like, "Hey, Tengu, can I pass?" And they're like, "Nah."
Nope.
And he's like, "Little boy, murder these Tengu," and he murders the Tengu, and it's like, okay, that stopped them for 5 seconds. So good job.
But I kind of like the space inside this Buddhist mountain god is dwelling. It's just like all these like crystal pillars, like purpley kind of spherical columns, just in this area. It's just I'm just like, you know, that I've kind of like reached out in this form, you know, I'm kind of like all around you, but I form this like, you know, sexy lady shape to approach you with. Otherwise you might go completely insane if you saw like move from us this like bunch of geometric missiles. You know, it's like you get described some of these like weird or outer gods or something like that. It's like, oh, they're just like a mass of just shapes. They don't make any sense. You know, you try to pick some kind of dragon or something or a genie, but no, it's just some kind of weird like massive energy and particles. Like I kind of like to kind of take that attack with that too. Yep, fun dragon guy is just like there. But haven't really seen much of what he does. It's been all been a kid so far.
Yeah, he mostly goes like, "I'll turn into dragon like once. We're gonna not lean on that too much." He's saving it up for the good animation. We'll see.
Yeah, it's almost hilarious to how fun quickly this fucking Shinsuke just fell into this thing. It's just I guess like it's a kind of culmination of all his worst fears, you know, like, you know, he was training, he was trying to get strong to avoid his very eventuality, and then rather than like adapt, but he's one doubling down on it, you know, fun saying, well, obviously I just gotta get even stronger than that, no matter what I have to do it. So if I'm gonna be the asshole in the world, you know, if an asshole without people getting killed, and maybe that's it. But Shinsuke, you're killing people. How can you say you're people getting killed?
Yeah, still a good episode. I do like that they kind of cram these like nearly A B plots like one after the other, because it doesn't feel like if it was any other thing that first part of the episode would be the entire episode and it would be kind of stretched out, but as it is, it's just like we're getting plenty of story out of it. Yeah,
that's it. Like, you know, I think some of these things are getting better in their pacing. You know, I think I definitely like we mentioned with Marshall. That's like that has the benefit of knowing that it's done. There's probably definitely has a benefit if no, at least knowing like it's been planned out and knows where it's going, so they can get it just so. And like they can get like a lot in there. Like this doesn't need to be a whole fucking thing. Over thing. I just like the pace of it. It's like something you see more for like a comedy sort of stuff usually. Fights like no. It was lighthearted at one point. Now it's kind of got into a very kind of like dark and kind of bleak place now in recent episodes, but it still like works just as well here.
Then we got Metallic Rouge, episode 8, talking of things which know where they're going, or in this case, possibly doesn't know where it's going. It's Nowhere House. Doing something.
I keep like shaking my head, I have my fist and going, Nowhere House.
Duality now, noir. Yeah, this was the episode where I was like, I think Marginal Service might be a smarter TV program than Metallic Rouge is.
Marginal Service knew exactly what the fuck it wanted to be.
Yes,
It wasn't the best
Emancipation.
looking thing, but it did exactly what it wanted. Yeah,
It's a big
think
dumb thing
Metallic-
with its heart, but it has heart in the right place. Small brain, big heart. You know.
yes, but I think Marginal Service its characters are stupid, but the story it's telling isn't. It just has stupid people.
One of the things
in
that's
it.
clever about Marginal Service is our main guys, the heroes, the Marginal Service guys. It's like they're not the main heroes. It's these other guys who are hanging in the background and showed up. We talked about it at the start, and they show up at the end. And it's just like, yeah, you guys are like the basic level workers, like the construction workers of the world. You serve an important public service, but we come in to save the day. That's fine.
And
that's okay.
We've got some specific political points to make, which we're going to make about things where if you know the bits of real world history and legislation they're talking about, it adds to it. Whereas Metallic Rouge it's doing things where it's like reflected on the real world, but it seems to be too stupid to the point where the comedy episodes are the better episodes.
Yeah.
I kind of want the farce more. Yeah.
And also, it's got a problem if we're watching it after we've watched Pluto, and which the Tezuka thing is smart to do, is that it doesn't make the robots a clear allegory for a nice, clean allegory for anything in the real world. So anything it says about the robots isn't going to look stupid on the thing it's reflecting on.
What Pluto did, it really took its kind of really top down view, like all the way top down view of comparing robots and humans, and this is like robots have the capacity to lie with really different humans, you know, and that's what's kind of proven set out, like what differentiates one from the other. Now, if we can get this similar, have this more kind of like right to do this or ability to do that, what then separates us?
You really have to give the Pluto that it actually, like, a lot of the sci-fi with robot stuff is like, it's about racism, and it's just like, yeah, we get it, but in Pluto it's kind of like, I mean, like, if a robot becomes functionally the same as a person, like if its intelligence gets advanced enough, if it can run emotional things, it's like, what is the difference? What is the functional thing? And I was like, yeah, it's smart enough to know what it's asking there.
Yeah, and it was also saying as well, like, what does that say about humans then, if like having this element of what we would call insanity or madness is what makes a complete like consciousness? What does that say about humanity that seems to be what drives us, or what's like in like an integral component of what makes us up? Whereas this is just like, it is just like, well, we should let the aliens be free of the Asimov code that constrains them, but that might cause like mass panic and chaos across the universe, across the solar system. So really, no one can truly say whether it's good or bad.
It's basically the argument of like, if we free the slaves, won't they be mad? It's like, yeah, they'll be mad about how they've been treated for. Actually, they haven't been around that fucking long, because apparently they've been invented within that fucking doctor's lifetime. I was like, wait, so this is a really new problem.
Also, there's two characters who approach the sensible route, and one of them gets a bullet in their head.
So annoyed about that.
In this episode, because they do get the line of, well, I don't exactly feel not free to begin with at this point in time, and then of course Ash goes, "You got a lot to learn," which matches Alice's discussion in the previous episode. It was like, yeah, we just want to live our lives as we like without people sticking their noses in.
And obviously, like he's saying, is just like, I don't feel like I'm enslaved. I don't feel like I'm trapped by my programming, because I'm doing the thing I want to do, which is working with you stupid fucking detective who keeps getting compliments on how smart he is, despite him going like, I'm a moron. Like he's trying so hard to be Columbo, man. He's not working out.
We've had lines about how are humans actually as free as they think they are as well.
Exactly. You're constrained by the constraints of society. There's only so much you can do within a system that's bigger than you. Like programming, basically. Yeah.
But yeah, everybody's just the two voices of reason. There's now only one voice of reason, and everybody else seems to be being played as fools, perhaps by the space aliens. But the plot's not clear enough for us to say that. For sure. But essentially, the plot here is first half is the brother takes Ash, Lloyd, Rouge down to the basement, the hidden library, which is actually his father's memories all stored onto hard drives.
It's so weird to me that this guy with the long white hair with the heterochromia, and he's like, Rouge, my sister, and she's like, brother, do you know what's going on? It's like, don't have a fucking clue. I was fired from my fucking job. Come on, do you want to have a look in the library? And it's like, he didn't have a fucking clue what's going on. His opinions, but like, I was like, oh, you're not the evil mastermind? It's like, no. Don't assume my character design makes me like a main guy or anything. I am as clueless as everyone else.
I may be David Bowie, but I'm not the bad guy. Yes, so they go and have a look at his memories, and turns out the dad's a bit of a git, as we get to, of course, hear his thoughts on scenes we've seen in Rouge's memories earlier.
I do like the idea of the book expands into a hologram from first-person perspective of the dad, where it's just him taking notes. Like, she seems to have developed emotional state, and it's like, so wait, was I just an experiment to that? He's like, I don't know, but it doesn't look good, does it, Rouge? Fucking.
And then we learn that the woman in the scene is Rouge's mother, who's what was her name? Eva Christella.
Yeah.
Who created the what's her program for undoing the Azimuth laws?
Code Eve.
Code Eve.
I mean, I named it after herself, I guess. Yeah, you're allowed. You read it, so.
And she said she got rid of them, but she actually hid them in the Immortal Nine, and so that's why they.
That's why the Immortal Nine can murder as many humans as they feel like in a given situation, because they are free of the Azimuth Code. But if we combine their powers, Captain Planet frees all of the robot slaves. Is basically what happens. Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh no, we can't do that in one big burst. We got to look at this and figure out when the best time to do it. Also, I'm no longer in a position to actually do anything about it." So
yeah, he's just theorizing and shit. Basically,
but that's essentially what his plan was when he was in a position to do something about it.
And he was fired from that, so he's like, "Well, my plan's gone out the fucking window since I lost my job." So I mean, like, we're just debating this, and like, you have a SWAT team like in the garden going like, "Do we hit them now?" Other main girl character, and she's like, "No, I want to see how this plays out." This is very interesting plot stuff.
Yes, so Naomi's spying on this. Meanwhile, the lab is being attacked by which one is it? It is
Flash, Sylvia, and
Graphite.
Graphon. Yeah.
Graphon.
He's got big bendy arms that you can make gravity wells to crush your head. Like that's that one like factory owner. He was like, he's in the lab trying like, oh Sarah, my beloved, let her out there. She doesn't love you, she loves me. Squash.
Also, Side shows up at John's house to kill Rouge, but Rouge doesn't want to fight back, so Side's very upset and goes, "Well, I'm going to kill you when you want to fight back. I'm going now.
Kill you later."
Also, I'm your sister.
I mean, you can tell from the whole look. Like, come on.
Yes, which suggests that must mean, I guess, that either Roy or Eva are still alive. Or they made this one just after they made Rouge.
Yeah.
Yes.
But again, the puppet master, the circus master, he had like the design of it. That's why I'm thinking that they make up their own one and send it off. Like Naomi is like fun saying, Blue Rouge. The only person who can make something like that would be one of those two. I presume if one of them is alive, it would be Eva.
Yes, because she's the one who died first. So maybe she's the circus guy.
Yeah, that's it too.
So you have
Master.
Silver and Grapha showing up, murdering the SWAT teams and various guys, and kind of going to Rouge. Is like, listen, we wanted you to join of your own free will, but if you're not gonna, we're just gonna fucking like take your code, basically. Like, we wanted to give you the choice, but if you chose no, then we're gonna take it. So
yeah, and they've got non-Neen robots with them, haven't they? Who are free to murder humans as much as they like.
I think it might be again, it might be the distinction of, oh, that's a cyborg, which is a person, which means it has free will, which means it can kill people, or something like that. Because that was the
But
distinction they made
these
before.
ones seemed like much more boxy, like
It could be just a
robots with
brain in
topped
it.
up.
You know, that's a cyborg. You know.
Yeah, I guess. But why would they be working with the needs though?
Yeah, yeah. Needs
I
have the
assume
disadvantage of
this.
being able to be shot and killed, whereas these robots are kind of like factory, like very basic, like just men with guns.
My guess is that these are made by them,
Oh,
and so therefore they're not making them with the Asimov circuit, but also it means they're not as sophisticated as the needs are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These robots don't need freedom. These robots are fine to be enslaved.
Now,
That's the distinction we're making. Yeah.
Does Eden show up as well?
Eden does as well.
Randomly for no reason, it's like, oh fuck, you're here as well. Okay.
Alice shows up as well.
What are you doing here?
Alice shows up to everybody shows up. They're all having a big old Royal Rumble of Neens.
And then the front sign is just up on top of the spire, just waiting, just humming to herself. Oh, I'm waiting my chance to jump in here. Any minute now, it's gotta wait, until I get the timer and my stage music plays and the hot fire wasn't I get in there. Well, wait your turn.
Like, I enjoyed the chaos of everyone showing up at the end, but yeah, not a great one overall. And again, this is like, here's the plot, but not all of the plot, so you're still like, ooh, as opposed to High Card, which is just like, here's the fucking plot, here's the real history, and you're just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I suppose if compared off Martial Service, I was sort of like, it was dumb when it sort of knew about it, or if it didn't know its heart wasn't right. But this is just like, you think you're very clever and smart, but you're not. You're really really are not. It's just like fucking giving me real vibes of there's always kind of like trends and when these things come up and they start come up and all of these kind of things. It's like, have you perhaps heard of Schrodinger's cat? And it's just like, yes, I have heard of the fucking like well-trodden thought experiment that, it's kind of like it's got this kind of very cryptic sounding name you're gonna trot out. I bet you're an absolute blast at parties.
And like a lot of what it's doing works well. Like it's like going off the intro where it has that very like poppy synthy fucking 80s kind of thing. I was like, that sounds all great. Those comedy episodes are like I meant that entirely as a compliment. It was giving me, the second one at least was giving me vibes of Dirty Pair and shit. And I was like, this is good. It could just lean into those tropes and lean into the the Schrodinger's cat, but do it in the fun way. And it would be grand. It'd be doing great for itself because it still looks good. That's the problem.
I said very early on that this thing will be going to hell in a handbasket if it wound up being. This is, we gotta save all of Mars, and then it's going to say, oh, since it burned in afterward, I should be hopping around planets. Now it's going to be, we gotta save the entire solar system. It's like, for fuck's sake,
if we don't free the Neens, then the invading aliens will invade again or something like that. Yeah, probably.
I'm just hoping we get one more Kimiko Ino episode before it ends.
Another
I was promised, and I haven't seen it in a while. It's like, knockdown, drag out fight between two of these cool gladiator suits. Like, give me that.
Yeah.
At least.
Then we got The Witch and the Beast, episode 7, The Witch and the Demon Sword, Act 2. I did watch this one, and unlike Sengoku Youko, this was easy to jump straight back in.
Yeah. It's the slowest one right now. We're gonna now get to do this in 3 parts rather than usual too.
So I guess he's Matt Kugat.
Matt Kugat, head of the Paladins. They're the magic cops are like, well, they're kind of to come more like the fucking Judge Dreads, this fucking witches, eh? We're just gonna freeze you up or blow you up and we'll ask questions later.
And the difference between his unit and a lot of the other ones, where it's just like generally you have a bunch of magic cops and they're all pretty good, but this unit has one really good magic cop and a bunch of just peons. It's basically because
essentially he's like a D&D warlock. He's made a pact with, in his case, a ice elemental.
So he's on par with a witch, which is why he can go toe to toe with a witch. So
2 of them, in fact, at once.
I think my favorite part of the episode is the sword constantly being disappointed by the people who have picked him up.
That sword is amazing, man. That that's such a good like evil soul caliber fucking it's like yes, and you can see why it's like this is why the sword destroys countries because everyone's like give me that sword and then kills the guy, and if someone manages to kill them they get the sword, and now the sword's like kill other people, and it's just
come on,
fucking,
you died like a wuss.
it's a terrible sword. It's just it's you could wield its power and be really good at killing for the 5 minutes that someone wouldn't come in and kill you for that sword. Useless thing. Great.
Yeah, because at one point he's trying to get Matt to pick the sword up, not the witch, because he's like, I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to them. But then when he picks him up and ices him up, he's like, no, put me down, I don't like you.
No, you gotta hold the handle, come on! That's how I get you.
Nope, can't contain him even now. He just shakes off that ice as soon as he's out of range. Is he gone? No, can't freeze me.
And our main girl, while picking up the sword at one point, to go like, "Don't worry, I got her on the line. She'll follow me wherever because she's bringing the swords. Like, you want the sword back? You're gonna have to follow me to our sword witch."
Whatever Guido's situation is, it's like, oh, you're not being overtaken by the tempting power of the demon sword. What's up with that?
Her desire to kill witches is stronger than a desire to kill everyone, I guess.
And she keeps coming back and things like Matt's got the kill shot on her and she's like, no, not the way. But as I was saying, it gets this drop kicked in back in the frame. It's just, she's not out yet.
Yeah, there's a pretty fun chase through the city, where probably looks a little bit better in the comic, but it kind of still worked for me.
There was some spectacle to this, like, where his fucking someone's a massive blizzard and it's like the form of like this malevolent, like skeletal angel of death. It's just that's pretty big, skeletal angel of death, ice storm coming right at us, isn't it? But there's not as like the flurry of snow you'd expect. It's just the work of what they got.
Yeah,
and I quite like the witch like making the sort of Mary Poppins rotating umbrella type thing.
Rotating umbrella fucking things, like making the blades just go jingy jingy jing, like to dig through a building, like making a wall of blades as a shield. Because literally all I can do is swords. That's all I got.
Yeah, I liked like her. She's got a very kind of like banal motivation for wanting to kind of live and survive.
It's great, man.
Because after when they get caught, they get put in medical straitjackets and hauled away. She gets like, I just came to this town as wanted to live an elegant like girl's life, and came to
there was a hot guy out shopping. There was a hot guy giving her coffee. There was a hot guy who greeted her on the street because it's like her witchy presence attracts people. And she's like, I could probably definitely get a boyfriend in this town. Like watching the news the next day.
Morning news. 6 found dead last night. Apparently slashed to pieces, and she's got a great face. She's all washing over her.
He's like, I'm in a lot of trouble. I need to fucking get out of here.
But that's a nice thing. It's like to look at this like fun series. It's like it's very very fun, dark, and very kind of sinister. Shadows so all operating in the night, witches and wizards and werewolves and spooky things. And this it's like we've got this fun. She's a demon sword, but she's just trying to live an average lady's life and get a boyfriend, and go on holiday.
that proves that she's not a very powerful witch because she has very mundane wants in life, basically.
Yeah, so she's like, Ashkan, did you do those murders? He says, how could I have done those murders but you won't unseal me? Because it turns out it was not him. It was the executioner who belongs to the shadow part of the Paladin Corps.
It's the double extra secret Judge Dreads that we got, that are like, oh, we're gonna claim power for ourselves and not just kill witches. It was the suspicious priest.
In fact, they would engineer things just to take because you don't need proof, as Ashraf is going over them.
I appreciate him getting frozen up, and he's like, blah, blah, blah. Now that they've ran away through your wall of ice and you've frozen me.
I can see you're a reasonable man, so hear me out my theory, right here. Yeah. But
did you meet anyone recently who's like, I'm a helpful presence who can help you out with this sword? It doesn't seem obvious that this witch like murdered every hot guy she met the prior day. Doesn't that seem like a bit of a fucking setup? And man's like, yeah, it does seem a bit suspicious. Like, it's because it's incredibly suspicious. And the suspicious guy who said he'd help you out, that's the fucking guy. Yeah. That's the guy you need to watch out for.
You don't need proof to try a witch, just like some accusation will do.
Yeah.
And that's all they need, and that's all these guys need to operate for and saying, well, we got her as a witch right here, but if we kill everybody, might be a witch in this room, and if that aids our secret aims, then it's a happy coincidence, isn't it?
And then he tries to get hold of HQ and he can't because they're all busy stabbing each other. And then he's like, yeah, see, now that's a bit more suspicious.
Yeah.
And then Matt gets stabbed through the chest by his right-hand lady, LALA.
Mm.
There's a fire
He's-
whip, which you could also stab people with. So yeah.
Oh, he's a nice type. Yeah, that's how it works.
Mm.
Also, the executioner, he's got like a gross, like Frankenstein arm that you can, like, use to mind
Yes.
control you.
Yes,
Presumably some artifact or something. Yeah.
I'm assuming it's made up of various witches' hands.
Witch's
Would be my
skin is the
guess.
thing I was thinking. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's definitely made up of different parts of different people.
So he's mind controlled a
Yes.
bunch of guys to work with him, and he's like, "We're just going to stand back and let this sword situation resolve itself." And also, he's like, "Oh, witch, come out, witch," because they're in the. I really like the design of those magical straitjacket things, like just a piece of armor that
Yes.
holds in your arms and like covers your face. You can't, I guess, cast any spells and shit. I was just like, that seems pretty good.
But Guido's still got her legs. You can still kick you. You should have put one on her legs too. You have to break out in the scuffle. And the sword is going like, you gotta draw me. If one of them was gonna draw me, it may as well be you, the one person in the entire world with the capacity to contain my power and possibly use it. Shouldn't it be you?
Yeah, yeah.
Or you can complete that thought though, as this gets brought down, and Guido's going out the window.
Yes.
And the sword opponent said, "Listen, if you can't save me now, save me later. You want I'm going to fight you and tell you if we're a witch and you want to solve your little problem, you got to rescue me first." It's not fair. I'm going out the window.
I mean, like, it'd be nearly romantic tension, like that they're setting up, that as she's been kicked out the window, it's like she couldn't save me anyway. It's like she'll be fine falling out the window. That's not going to take her up, because they have the bit earlier where she's kind of like looking at the witch's lips, and your man's like, no, don't kiss her yet. We gotta fucking keep that for later in case we need an extra boost power up. Don't kiss the witch yet. Just save it up.
Which the next episode trailer definitely teases, because it's just going to be. It's going to roll
Hasn't
over
opened
that
the coffin yet. They're going to.
Just know Matt is going to somehow recover from his stabbing. The pair of them are going to roll up and take care of business.
It's probably like fucking. He's turned into ice because he's a Logia type. You gotta hit him with Haki,
Yes.
otherwise you can't kill him.
But no, this was fun to drop back into, so I may carry on watching it in replace of whatever the thing's finished, and whichever things take weeks off on a week by week basis,
including this, which is back this
yes.
Life, man.
Tagging in, tagging out, Arrow.
Then we got a show we don't have to worry about that because they finished it 6 months ago. Delicious in Dungeon, episode 9, Tentacles and Stew.
Someone's cooking down here. Oh, it's a bunch of my old friends who were left on awkward terms. Ooh, here's my new party who I signed up, but it's tense.
And even like the I think it does such a good job of explaining like the characters' motivations and the kind of world building and stuff, because several times she wants to like, I want to go help them out because they are like, I've ventured with them for a while, but I can't just be jumping parties for biggest payout because that'll ruin my career. I'll be seen as someone who goes I go to the highest bidder, and then I'll still get employed, but from different clientele, and it's just like, yeah, that kind of sucks. And Chilichuk's like, you guys paid me in advance, so that's why I'm still here. So, and they're like, wait, you're not here for friendship? It's like, no, I've already been paid for all this. I'm good. It's great.
It's a professional obligation to see the job through to the end. I like all the little bits of character which gets revealed here, and like hints of stuff yet to be revealed. So we've got Namari, who's working for Mr. and Mrs. Tansu, a pair of gnomes. And they've got 2 other people with them, twins, Kaka and Kiki, who they clearly like more than Namari.
They're definitely like, okay, we got to hire some muscle because we're wizards doing research on, I think magic circles is the thing they're looking at in the dungeon. So, and this is a great place for magic. We've had these 2 twins with us for fucking ages, and they're great. We love them, but we also had, like, we need some more muscle. They hired Namari. They're not too sure about her. I mean, like, there's already rumors about her basically because she left her whole fucking party. So they're kind of not, again, already her career is taking a different turn from having to go, I don't want to fight a fucking dragon for no money. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, like Marcel is naturally like, you know, I expected kind of the most cheesed off with her. It's just like,
Yeah.
dude, you don't understand. I need this job. I gotta hold this one down, otherwise I'm shot. You know, it's just a bit.
It's interesting that Laos is kind of like, he's like, yeah, I get it. Like, totally, you're a professional, and like I trust your opinion on things. So like, if you say you have to leave, that's fair enough. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so he also asks what happened to Shiro, the other guy, and there's like, well, Shiro was in love with your sister, so I'm pretty sure he's put together another party, and he's also
He
trying to
was.
And they're like,
I was his
I like
best
how-
friend. I don't know. I had not noticed that. And this is the fun. Laios keeps saying that he is, I was Shiro's best friend. But we only hear him say that, so you'll get more on that in a little bit.
We learn about Senshi, that he's a terrible dwarf in terms of
that's
standards.
so good. It's just like, because she's judging them. It's like, fucking, like, he's useless, and it's like, how the fuck did you fuck up your axe? What kind of dwarf are you? It's like, well, the lads, the old dwarf lads I used to roll with, they always said I was really bad at identifying ore and taking care of my weapons and equipment, and she's just like, I come from a family of fucking like people who make weapons. That's no way to treat a hatchet. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it is like because he's the first dwarf that we meet in the story, is Senshi. I mean, thinking, it's like Senshi the way he's going about. It's this like a Senshi thing was it a dwarf thing? Then you meet the Mario and it's like, oh, it's a Senshi thing. It's a Senshi thing.
His dead stare of it being a weirdo is like absolutely just Senshi.
He lends Laios his helmet because when they go downstairs to investigate a thing, every scene with like the helmet up and say, oh, but helmet up is that he's got a normal face, big bushy beard, of course, but you know, otherwise.
His eyes look less wild out of a helmet, certainly, because he has eyebrows to expression now.
The framing, yeah. So first things first, so Laos goes and Senshi go with them to look for this magical circle.
The reason why they're going
healing
is
Marcel.
Because it's like, we're not going to heal someone for free, and they have no money, and they don't accept cooked kelpie as a payment for healing your party member. They're just like, come on, we start healing people for free. That's the way to get scammed. So if you guys help us out with this magic circle, we'll heal her. Also, the description of the healing, how it works is like your soul is attached to your body. It can't ascend into heaven or the afterlife or whatever. So all you have to do is heal the wound, and the soul goes straight back into the body. I was like, I like the simplicity of that.
But that's the way it works in the dungeon, and it's just
only the dungeon.
Yeah, that ain't quite right. Like even Senshi is saying, it's like, you know, it's fucked up, man. Let's go. But sure, it's just magic, man. You find magic, no water waffle, and saying, nah, man, it's fucking like things coming back to life after they died. It's fucked up, man.
Yes, because he says it's fucked up, and then Mr. Tansu explains, yes, it is fucked up, but it's fucked up in a way you didn't know about, Senshi. So therefore, the resurrection spells in the dungeon are fine, because these people ain't passing on anyway, so it's much better to resurrect them than leave their souls in eternal
attached
torment.
to a corpse. Yeah, that would suck.
Yes, I like that. Mr. Tansu is, he's
a practical man.
He's ornery, but like he's here for a purpose now. I guess like his wife's thing. Don't get a word out for it. It's just like, oh, I'm here to support my husband. You know, this is his weekend hobby, finding magic circles.
So they get attacked by a tentacle. One of the twins gets yoinked up into it. Laos follows them. Not to free the twin, but to free the twin's crossbow.
I was trying to think like because you're, and again, that's not going to make her look good. So considering they like the twins so much, she's like, I don't know which one's which. They just told me both of their names. I can't tell you. And it's like a guy and a girl, but it's still kind of like, come on, you should have learned their names by now. You're going to be adventuring with these guys, but she's brand new to these guys. Like as she said, it's like, hey guys, I haven't seen you in a while. Well, it's been like a week, I suppose. It's like, oh, so you're really brand new to this party. You really haven't gotten to know them yet. Yeah.
But has been repeatedly killed because when we went to see the Undyne, is Mr. Tansy used her as a shield.
Beat shield.
Dwarven shield.
But so it's Laos jumping up with Senshi's helmet into the thing to get stung slightly less by the tentacles. To get the crossbow to throw it back down. Senshi receives it, passes it on to her. Yeah. She takes the shot to take out the pile of tentacles. They
get freed, they get healed, and then they're gonna go back, and they're like, okay, you have to take Marcel back with you because she needs to recover her magic and she's not going to do it down here. And she's like, no.
I do appreciate that the Laos insists is like, no, heal me last. I'm just horribly swollen from the poisonous of the strands of the tentacles. So he spends most of all this conversation like just horribly bloated and everything. It's great.
And so you can get the laugh when Marcel sits up from her wounds and goes, "What's happened to your face?" Yes, but she does not want to go back. So she comes up with a plan: is I'm going to drink the Undye. That's how
that thing that shoots you with water lasers. Yeah.
Well, it's going to shoot us with water lasers. I'm going to go down and suck it up and get my magic back.
It can pierce through armor. What are we going to do? I got a pretty good pod over here. What what's this? Big walk. Check it out. It's this. What is this? That luster, that sheen. This is fucking adamant. You cooking this? Oh yeah, it used to be a shield. I just took out the handle of it. I just want to cook a pot of cooking one day. You got a lid too? What the fuck? Do you? What's just so as a weaponsmith, weapon master? You kind of imagine that, like, dwarves can also make, like, very hard wearing, like, utilitarian tools and things, like all cookware in this case. Just gotta put your mind to it.
And what they don't say is about adamantine is it actually it's like what do you call those cast iron pots? Like you just get it greased and it's fucking grand forever, basically.
Yeah, you're never going, like, it's never getting stuck onto it.
And scratch proof, so perfect cookware.
It's perfect for capturing an Undine. We just got to lure it out of the water and go.
It's initially like Senshi and Laos, and she's kind of like I want to go, and you can see the dwarf, the gnome kind of go like, I can see you want to go, but you can't justify going. Because as she says, tall men, they're all fucking height. There's no power behind those muscles.
No core.
Basically.
You need two stout dwarves to seal this thing up, so you come out from both ends at the pot and the lid and to catch it in between. Okay, bring it in quick, over the fire, and you gotta have one hold it down.
The lads just like bring it into the fire. That's all they can do. So they're holding it down
while it's rattling around. It's like to making popcorn in there. You gotta wait for the pot. There's an interval between the pops, and then it stops, and that's when you know it's done. They can finally go, oh, it's hot.
Because their hands are burned from holding down a cooking pot. But yeah, Marcel is just like, yeah, if I drink it quick, it does still have the mana in it, so that means I can get my mana back.
But there's a nice little kind of moment though instead where it's just like, Mercy, it's just like, oh, I can just drink the Stellan Web. It's kind of like Senshi. It's just like, oh, I think we can do better, can't we? It's just like, oh yeah, get that clip meat over there. I'm making stew. Nice hearty mana restoring stew. There's enough for everybody.
Even though it's like they were offered food before, they were like, no, we're not eating monsters. We just came down. We got plenty of supplies.
They were like sampling the tentacles from before, as you see behind you, because one gets like, it's got the bars that paralyze like your hands. So it's like, oh, it's kind of stuck on there. But it's like, we'll just like cover it in vinegar and just like, come out, just peel it a bit. And it's just like, ooh, okay. So it's like kind of experiment with that. That's kind of our stand-in for like a plantain or like maybe a sweet potato in this kind of situation. I suppose a plantain because it peeled like a banana.
Yeah.
Also, it seems to be the fact that he's been paralyzed in the face is making Laos taste it differently to everybody else.
Yeah. Oh, all the parts taste different. And Senshi's like, no, they fucking don't. What the hell are you talking about? It's like their former dwarf. It's like, here, you got to try it. She's like, I'm not eating a fucking tentacle. But in this case, it's Marcel has went out of her way. She's got this crazy plan. So when she offers her the bowl of stew, she's kind of like, okay, I mean, like, this is a peace offering. This is like, Marcel, it's not that you're no longer mad at me. It's like you kind of get where I'm coming from, why I had to leave the party, why I have to do my own thing. Yeah. She doesn't, it's not animosity that she left it with. It's like, it would be stupid to fight a dragon for no money, even though she has fought dragons before. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's the other, like, the key component of this thing, and even more for as it goes on, we're traveling around, he says. It's like, it isn't just about killing monsters and get the food, but it's also just like it's looking at the food and the ritual of eating and cooking and all of that whatever that draws in. We got some kind of, I want to meet this person and meet up with them and kind of clear the air. Where are you going to do that? In a public place, probably in a cafe or a restaurant, And that's where a lot of these things, good news, bad news, makeups, breakups, usually all happen in somewhere like this. And food is probably involved. And you're probably always going to remember that meal when you made up with your friend.
Yeah, so they does Mr. Chansu say that she could stay, but she doesn't. She's gonna
No,
She could.
she's
She
like,
could want
you
to.
listen. I can see you
Yeah.
want to like look out for your old party, but she's like, no, I want to be genuinely a part
Yeah.
of your party. Like I'm new, but like I do want to help you in this thing. Like
Yeah,
she's not.
because it's as well like she. Now, Mary viewed it as if I'm just here, like, I'm just here because, for the money. Maybe I wasn't paid to, but even then, you can't quite know, like, you are here for the money, and, people might recognize that, but it also can want to help it get to like you, from being around with you.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can't just walk away when money is gone. You just gotta deal with as well the fallout from, like, your colleagues and how you left them. Like, it's as clean a break as that.
Yeah.
Yes, because her point as she leaves is good luck finding your sister, but don't get yourselves killed finding your sister. It's like these people are her friends, but she's not willing to. She saw the mission as being a fool's errand to a degree, particularly for nobody.
But it's not that she didn't even like the sister
No,
that
but she's
kind of
not.
rescue and everything.
No,
But yeah.
but yeah, but she's like, yes, I understand you want to rescue your sister, but it would hurt me more if then heard that 3 more of my friends were dead in their attempt, and my new friend Senshi were dead in their attempt to rescue. Anyway, we get more of these people next episode because they get a story to themselves, which I assume is how things are going to start getting split up as the series goes along.
Yeah,
There's other people.
Yeah, it hops around different parties and points of view. Some who've seen and gotten killed and will come back and for another goal again.
Yes.
And then even more get brought in. Like in the comic, I think there was at least one volume where the main party here was barely in it at all.
Yeah, it happens a bunch, and it's good to see because it makes it feel like a more full world with like a whole industry built on dungeon delving and that kind of stuff. And everyone's got their own shit going on basically.
Yeah, and it's also again seeing these characters in relation to other adventurers like them. I think we saw. Essentially, is like pretty unique among dwarves, and there's a lunatic.
Our party is like very unique in terms of fucking weirdos. Like most adventuring parties are not like this fucking one.
Yeah, and that goes with all of them. It's not just Senshi and even Laios who are the main weirdos here. Like Chilchuk and Marcial are also sort of weirdos in their own communities, as we'll find out later on.
Yes. Yeah, because there's a moment in this when they suggest heating up Laos's sword, and he doesn't say anything, but he has a face as if to say, "I can't do that because it will kill my friend who's living in my sword."
Can't cook my sword; that he will die.
Who let me know there was a monster down the corridor because I had to pretend that it was just a hunch earlier, not to say my sword.
Women's intuition.
See, I mean, like again, Laos is mad in that your sword is alive and thinks you're its colony, but the sword is warning him of danger beforehand. I was like, that's actually pretty useful. That's not the reason he kept it, obviously, but it is like him being a fucking weirdo is beneficial in some ways sometimes.
It is, but he knows he's a weirdo, so therefore he can't tell everybody else that he's done this.
Everyone always acts so weird when I act weird.
Yes. Oh, the reason he knows he's a weirdo because none of them are afraid to tell him he's a weirdo when he acts weird. Jolly good fun. Continues to be a highlight, as does Bang Brave, Bang Bravern, episode 8, Until We Meet Again, Smith.
How special episode.
How are they going to wrap this up in one season? Well, all the enemy robots show up at once.
A big fog descends on them. They can't get all their radar. They missing communication. But the guys who were close enough to see is like, that's fucking 3 towers. We were just going to go around
there.
And we were going to go around Africa to Europe.
Is still in the mix as well. He was just like again not the main body.
That is so hilarious. And then they realise he's still here, and then he instantly gets killed again and can't be brought back this time.
That's his whole thing of getting killed instantly. I suppose this is the last time he got killed instantly, but yeah.
So these 3 robots, one of them wants to die multiple glorious deaths.
Pessimism.
Pessimism has he's like, well, I don't really want to die, but I guess I gotta die. And then the third one wants to fuck Lewis Smith.
One's going on about how great he is and how everyone else sucks.
Kind of make it out.
One is lamenting the entire situation, and the other one is like, Lewis Smith, make love to me. And obviously his kid who's in the co-pilot seat, they can't do anything about it. That's just the way it has to fucking go. It's like, hey, what's making love? It's like, this is not the time for the birds
It's
and the
kind
bees
of like
talk.
in a Go-Go 13 room. You're gonna pull my trigger again and again. You know?
Yes.
I mean, like, he could have just said he was gay. I mean, that would have solved a lot, I feel. But, okay, fair enough, Smith.
She wouldn't have it. She thinks that, oh no, just give me a go. I'll rock your world.
Because yeah, she's been a real dick of like, hey, I got teleportation, and like it's like I'll teleport here, I'll teleport there, I'll teleport you around to confuse you, and you'll be attacking each other, and then I'll
I'll
teleport one
teleport your
guy
friends and
in,
not tell them where
into
I've sent them to.
space. That one fucking like when I saw Smith's team of the Brave Knights, I was just like, I haven't seen these two cunts before. They're fucking dead. Like
No, you
one
have
guy's
seen
in,
them before, but it was like didn't get
but
much
they
to
didn't
do.
get anything to do. They didn't have any lines or banter or stuff. But so the guy who's in orbit now, I feel like he's not coming back.
Yeah, that was again another one for my list of people floating in space. It's a valid panel idea.
Like me cars, bump into him, frozen for all eternity.
Dear.
Yeah, it's been really fun, really chopping them up, all these like, the ones who have more interesting designs, just get the arm of a robot chopped off or something like that.
And one guy gets repeatedly exploded. She's apparently time traveling as well, for she's making that guy explode over and over again. It's a shitty situation, and Bravern's like, we can't go help Smith right now because we're fighting these two guys. I'm gonna leave it to them. Because it's the thing he said before he went off is like, and very fucking ominous, Bravern, very fucking ominous indeed. It's like, hey, Lewis Smith, do the best you can till we meet again. Do what you think is right. All right, bye, peace. And I was just like, this is very suspicious. Like all of this was like leading up to very like, Smith's in trouble, isn't he?
Yep. Lulu, I'm gonna need to hit that button. It's the ejector seat. No. He's going first. So tell me, what's your name? I'm Lewis Smith. I'm from Lieutenant Lewis Smith, captain from leader of the Brave Knights. He didn't need to put that part in there, but he went.
He
for
put
it
in his
anyway.
whole title for his whole name. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the one who's going to take you down. If anything, you got no weapons like you're fun charging at a pal, now you're going to get blown up. Yeah, you get blown up.
No, he makes love to her. He takes off all his robot's clothes, penetrates her, and explodes. So it's just like, yeah, I mean, that's what she wanted. So okay.
The explosion though does seem to like disappear into like a tiny black hole. So perhaps he's also just been shunted forward in time or back in time, or possibly turned into a red and white robot.
We'll have to wait and see, because it's like there's nothing particularly normal about it. Oh, and the reason why the other two robots are mad at her is because she has shot a laser gun into the orbiting tower that shot the other towers, and humans are like, gaga pee, now I will come fight. Ah, Jesus, I've been exploded again. She's taken out their ability to regenerate at the towers, so now if you kill them, they're dead for good.
Yeah, I'm going, oh, but I'm waiting to get my wish fulfilled just the one time. What, I better make it count.
Yeah.
You take it in stride. Your own way. Major Bomber. He's certainly been killed, certainly been dead, It just makes the closing credit song all the more poignant. It's just like, will we ever get the hug shirtless in the rain?
Because like a lot of stuff happens for Lewis Smith. Like it's the opening without the opening credits. It's him kind of like going through his day of getting ready by going through his Gunpla fucking collection and picking out a cool anime shirt to wear, and like Lieutenant Howard finally fucking gives him the fist bump. He's like, oh, our relationship's really developing. I was like, oh fuck, he's in trouble. Like it was just like setting it up for so long. It's just like, ooh,
we need a name for a unit. We're gonna be the Brave Knights. Pretty cool, huh?
Pretty cool. Like comes his catchphrase, this fucking thing.
No, you can't come. No, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna Rambo up. I got my heavy machine gun. Lulu will never die.
Yes.
I'm hardcore now.
She'd
also got her super cool sunglasses on earlier in the episode.
For the briefing for the Brave Knights. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Suburbia thinks everybody's an idiot and he's just going to meditate.
I'm going to wait till this all blows over and Suburbia figures out what to fucking do. I'm going to wait back here, though. So you guys tell me when it's up. All right.
Yeah. what a crazy show.
Intriguing, yeah. The Canute in particular looks very Detonator Orgon-esque in that, like, it's dealing with similar people sent 1,000 years in the future and come back as robot people again. So it's just, yeah, I think, he's the man to do it. He can draw his back catalog if he wants to.
And also, if he's the guy who's really into like mecha and tokusatsu fucking shows and stuff, it's just like all of these guys seemingly want to die in a cool, or at least that one guy who did die in several cool explosions. Like they want the big anime, like very big action kind of stuff. It's basically, it's like Lewis Smith, and as he keeps monologuing this, I always wanted to be a hero, that kind of fucking. He always wanted.
All my life.
He wanted this kind of situation. But he didn't want to be like in a regular robot against super robots, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there's 2 more robots to come from the opening. Like a bat one and the big one who's right.
Big floaty one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fun.
Intriguing.
This and Delicious in Dungeon, I think, are the 2 highlights for me of the year so far.
Yeah, I'm enjoying other stuff, but
it's the Thursday evening power hour appointment
Yes.
television thing. I watch them now in the one block. Weird, if a fantasy shown in the complete opposite sides. It's a science fiction robot show, but they're both equally as dumb as each other, but also great.
Yeah. That's it for this week. Well, everything else should be back next week. Buchigiri and MASH. I've already watched some of the MASH, and then I realised this is the wrong day. It should be next week's list of things.
I couldn't help myself, and I kept going. They pack a lot into that one. Yeah, I guess.
I will also have some Detective Conan as well when we go to a matchmaking party.
So is the plot going to show up or the romance going to show up? It sounds like the romance is going to show up.
Romance is. I've not got to the crime yet. I've just so far I had to stop because I was laughing so hard at
good
conversation 3 men are having about some slippery tiles, and it was too real. It was like these guys they were in an awkward social situation, and somebody mentioned slippery tiles, and then 2 other men leapt in to say, yes, I also noticed those slippery tiles. And I was like, that's just too real. Of like, here's a safe topic of conversation to talk about.
Well, when you're out meeting people, you often might find that, you may not have, if you haven't got much in common, you will probably get on better if you just find something that you complain about. I hate that as well. Yeah, you actually bond more closely.
And when you get to a certain age and you meet people who you know, and you just start talking about all your medical ailments as the initial topics of conversation. It's it just was making me laugh so much I had to stop, and I'll save the crime for a few. I assume those slippery tiles are going to be involved in the crime. Because they wouldn't mention it, but it was just so well observed. And there's other funny. It looks like a funny episode. It's got a problem where everyone's wearing masks at the party, and the animators seem to be struggling with that concept.
No, I mean that is off their usual character design things. So
it is, yes.
I did catch up on Undead Unluck as well. I thought the Anon was going to be better because it's kind of like the reveal is like, hello, it's me, the author. I've been the guy doing the next episode on Undead Unluck every fucking episode so far. I probably should have said that sooner. It should have made a bigger deal of it. It didn't really come across that well. And again, because it's talking about manga and writing, it works better in the manga than it does in a cartoon. But the Memento Mori one with the Fuko living her best book life and living out his past in a book form, but she's also in it. And also, did she time travel? Seemingly not, but that is going to alter his memories to seem like she did time travel. It's complicated. It doesn't matter. I actually really enjoyed that episode. That was good fun.
Yeah, okay. That's a big pivotal kind of bit in it. So
yeah, I think it's handled very well as well.
That story is very similar to that early Wolverine story in Wolverine's thing, where
Yeah.
Wolverine and Puck travel back into Wolverine's memories, and they're hanging out with Ernest Hemingway. And it has that similar sort of like slightly dreamlike quality to it. And obviously, there's definitely Wolverine's DNA in Andy.
I mean, it's like Wolverine and Rogue, you know. I mean, it's kind of got that thing going on a little with the gloves and everything. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Big fans of the first X-Men movie. So we're back next week with all this. Oh, has Niall got something else he watched?
I was just going to mention that Ninja Kamui is on Channel 4 now, so you can look at that.
Oh shit! Yeah. Fuck. I knew there was something else to check.
Yeah, I watched 2 of them now. It's just a dub only, but it's sort of like a trashy sort of very like action movie premise anyway. That it kind of works for me.
Okay.
Ninja, you know, trying to get out of the life he's hiding out and assume identity, but it catches back up with him, and it's like, damn, all these murders happening. The FBI's getting involved. I'm going to get revenge in it. But he's like, you know, he's one of the foreigners, you know, like ninjas now can teach techniques to foreigners, but now anybody who diverts from the code is going to be hunted down. So it will lead to a lot of cool, bloody action sequences.
Okay.
Yeah, they're decent enough. You know, it's I think when he's like freed from like, you know, something that's kind of going to run on for too long, Sengoku Park can still put in some good work.
Rightio, that wraps everything up. We'll be
everything.
back next week. Ta-ra for now.
See ya. Get out of here already.